So I'm primarily focused on product, and I'm part of the product development advisory team. And in case you have not been on the most recent calls, I do have some exciting news, which is the release of some new programs. So it's been a while. As a matter of fact, since the start of Healy, these are the newest programs that have come around, and we really feel that these programs are going to add to the benefits that we already have by using Healy. The first one, which was released actually on December the 1st, is called the Bioenergetic Revitalization app. And as it sounds, it's all about revitalization. You'll notice currently right now that there is not a real how can I say it, a real full explanation of what all the individual programs do, which we usually have. And there's a reason for that, which is that we have to get these compliant through US legal FDA facilities in terms of making sure that what we say about each one of these programs is legal and clear. And so that's going to be forthcoming shortly. They're working on it now with the legal team and getting these descriptions cleared. But it is a wonderful program. I've started using it. I actually am one of the people that beta test many of the new programs that are coming out, and I have found some really good results from using that. The next program that I think a lot of you have been anticipating and really waiting for, especially myself, because I think I heard a statistic out there recently that about 85% of people in the United States have a pet. I also remember hearing that since the pandemic in March, that most of the animal shelters have been empty, which is so, it's phenomenal news to people like myself that work with the animal rescue community. And so many of you, even that have never had pets before, now have pets, because since we have such difficulty in connecting with our human family and friends, it's nice to have a living, breathing friend in one's home. And so I really believe that the new animal program, which should be available as of January 1st, is going to really revitalize and re-energize the sales of Healys, because what I have found in my practice is that a lot of times my patients will spend a lot more focus and attention on treating their animals and spend more money on their animals than they actually do in terms of treating their own bodies and taking care of themselves. So I'm very excited that this program will be available shortly. Again, I've been beta testing it on my own dog. He had a little accident a couple of months ago and had an ACL tear in his left leg, and I've been using this program to assist him. And I can tell you that as of today, we don't see any signs of any issues anymore. It seems like his issue is completely resolved. And so what the animal program does is that it's very similar to the programs that we use for ourselves. However, there are specific indications for certain animal conditions that obviously are not included in the human set. So for example, dealing with things like fleas is not something usually we have to be concerned about ourselves, and yet it's a common occurrence that happens with animals. And therefore, you'll be able to go in. It's going to be set up very similar to the DNA program and the search program, in that all of the new apps will be housed in the Heal Advisor app, which is a separate app. So there are actually 4 different apps that are associated with Healy. We have the pink app, we have the blue app, we have the app that goes along with the watch, if you have a watch, and then we have a 4th app called the Heal Advisor app, which again can be downloaded from where you download your apps. And this is the place where all of the new subscriptions that come out, beginning with the bioenergetic revitalization and the animal programs, will be housed. So you do have to download that app in order to have access to those. They are by subscription only, and I believe it's approximately, if I'm not mistaken, about $50 US. However, with the animal program, there's going to be a physical device that will be purchased along with the initial subscription, because as we know, if many of us have used our Healys for our animals and have had really great and successful results using the Healys we have now. However, you probably noticed that it's really difficult to hook an animal up to get microcurrent, because most animals, especially mine, I have a Bichon, and there's really no skin areas that you can actually attach it to. My dog is like a big fur ball. And so what the product team has developed is an actual device. It's similar, akin to the wristbands that will be placed directly on the animal so that they will able to get the benefit of the microcurrent, which is really, really exciting to me because up until now, I've only been able to treat Teddy with frequency-based treatments, but now I'll be able to actually deliver microcurrent to him, which would have been great, again, with the dealing with his injury, although I did get a successful result just by frequency alone. So I am very, very excited about that. I also understand in our conversation yesterday with corporate that there's a very quick turnaround time now for turning on your subscriptions. It used to be, it was a long manual process that had to be done in Germany. Now I've been told that that process can happen from anywhere within a few hours to max 3 days in terms of having the subscription turn on. And the delay to 3 days would only be that communication between your credit card provider and the company to make sure that the actual charge has gone through. So again, this is, you know, when I came aboard a little over a year ago, speaking to Martin and Frank at that time, one of the things I remember they said to me is that what you're seeing now is just the tip of the iceberg. We have so many things planned for the future in terms of programs, devices, et cetera, that are coming down the pike. I'm real excited about it. If you were on the Frequency Friday, I briefly shared about another new addition to our device that is going to be coming out probably in March. And since I already shared it and Frank allowed me to talk about it, I'll just briefly address that here. In March, we will have an addition, an option that will be able to attach directly to your Healy via the 2 ports that we usually put our white cords in, and this will snap to the back of the Healy, and it will allow us to now deliver frequencies in an additional modality. So besides the microcurrent and the frequency approach, we will now have a scalar Tesla coil that will be able to you know, deliver the frequencies via scalar wave energy, which is something that I have been involved in for many, many, many years. I am assuming that many of you out there that love the Healy have also either had or worked with other scalar type devices, and that will be coming out in March, and I'm very excited about that addition. One other thing, Ken, I just wanted to address here that I failed to mention is the fact that I'm also working with the product team, beta test. We're doing a revision of the watch and the watch app. We're making it much more user-friendly. We're making it much more interactive. It's a very valuable device. I have it on me 24/7. As I mentioned in the past, one of the things I never did was to monitor the quality of my sleep on a daily basis. And I was shocked to find out when I first started that I was only getting approximately 45 minutes of deep sleep in my 8-hour sleep per night. And with working with the watch, which by the way has its own set of 24 different programs that are not associated with any of the other programs that you get, they're a separate set that come along with the watch itself. By working with those programs on a regular basis, I've been able to get my deep sleep to 4.5 hours a night, which is in the ideal range. And I attribute that to using the apps that have shown up that have been recommended to me on a daily basis by the use of monitoring all of my biometric parameters that the watch does. Another great use of the watch is the ability to assess one's HRV, which is heart rate variability, which is a parameter that's being used now in medicine to really monitor your level, your autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic versus sympathetic, bottom line, to see how much stress your body is under on a daily basis. Because I have always said that stress is the cause of inflammation, and inflammation is the cause of every disease. So if we can go back to the origin, which is dealing at the level of stress itself, we can make a major impact in terms of dealing with and prevention of disease. So this allows you to take your HRV readings throughout the day, and then you can monitor and track them to literally see how much stress your body is under. And it's very eye-opening and a great you know, a tool to have with everything else that we have. I also want to mention, in case you're not aware, I know a newsletter was sent out, but as of January 1st, we are going to be required, those of us who do Healy as a business and receive a check, to achieve a certain PV, personal volume per month. If you've ever been involved in other network marketing companies, this in other companies have been sometimes referred to as a quote auto ship, monthly auto ship that you need to complete in order to receive compensation from the company. Well, this is part of what we are going to institute and implement on January 1st. And so the best way to do that is by choosing one or many of the different subscriptions and subscribe to it. And therefore, you'll always know that you've reached that requirement each month and never have to worry about missing a check or a payment. You know, we are a network marketing company. We are not a direct sales company. And therefore, just selling a Healy to somebody, that to me is a direct sale. But what we're really looking for, those of us that are looking at this also as a business model, is what we call residual income. And the way to create residual income for all of us is to have this subscription model in place. We've talked about putting out a lot more information for people about what these subscriptions actually are and what they do, the benefits, etc., which are going to be forthcoming soon. We had that discussion yesterday, but I think it's really important that you begin to familiarize yourself with the different subscriptions that are out there. We have 5 of them currently that are available. We have the Watch Connect app, we have the digital nutrition, we have the search function. Now we have these 2 new apps that are coming. And specifically, if I were to say one subscription that I feel that everybody that has a Healy should start to use, it would have to be the search app. And the reason I say that is the second most commonly asked questions that I find in all of the 12 different groups that I monitor is, how do I treat X condition? How do I treat this symptom? How do I treat this disease? Well, legally, as you've seen me say many times in posts, we're not allowed, based on FDA compliance, to actually tell you which programs you need to run in order to work with various conditions, because legally, Healy doesn't treat disease specifically. It works with the bioenergetic field. So many times you'll see me refer to the fact that the answer is in the search app. The answer is in the search app. The search app has over 1,000 conditions, issues, indications, diseases, and all you need to do is literally just type them into the box. And once you type them into the box, what you get back immediately is the specific programs, and it's based for every different, so it doesn't matter if you have a Healy Gold, you have a Healy Holistic Health Plus, you have a Healy Resonance, you put in specifically which edition you have so that the app knows that, and it will specifically recommend for you those programs in your edition that are recommended by the medical team to address the issues that you have. So again, I really think it's really important, if you're going to get the utmost benefit of having a Healy, that when something shows up in your life, in your family, friend, the name of that specific condition, and immediately you know which are those programs that are specifically designed to work to balance that, and you don't have to keep popping into all of the Facebook groups and ask the field how they treat those issues, because it's not really legal. And you'll know that in many cases I'll say that, and I also in many cases will actually delete or remove that post. We have to be very careful. We never know in these public posts who's watching us, and having been involved with many companies, frequency devices and companies over the years, the FDA is looking, they are watching, and we don't want to lose this magnificent healing tool that we have here. So thanks for letting me share that, Ken, and I'm going to go back over to you again.
Awesome. So there's still confusion. I've seen a couple of posts or comments in the chat here about the SC bundle or the SC app being $35. So what Doc's talking about is the Search Cloud. SC app is the Search Cloud app, which is the search app that you do have to have a subscription for. Where all that is housed is the Advisor app. There is no cost for that. So those are 2 different things. I want to make sure that you understand the distinction here, what they're for, and what's free and what's not free, what the service it's going to provide. The Advisor app is simply a hub. It's really a hub, and it's a great hub because what we're experiencing or what we're familiar with is Healy has this little device here. This little device is essentially the center of what Healy can do, but it's a bridge, right? But to what? To all the other assets that Healy has, which is that search function. If we're dealing with specific symptomatic issues, we can't ask in a public forum how to cure that. That's not our doctor, and so we can't put that out there. But this Search Cloud app is supported by specialists, and so it will give you recommendations that you can use. So hopefully that clears up and gives a better understanding about that distinction, how that works. One of the things he mentioned, the Advisor app. Okay, so this is a thing that it's a free place where where all your subscriptions are going to be housed. So the Healy Advisor app, and I know it's a little bit confusing because of naming. Healy Advisor app, Heal Analysis Advisor app. I mean, these names sound similar, but they have different purposes. The Heal Advisor Analysis app we refer to as the Blue Dot app. That's what we refer to as the Blue Dot. It's kind of a visual reference that we use. But the Heal Advisor, the Advisor is a space. It's an app you get for free. It's a space that's going to you manage all of your apps as well as the personal interactions that you have. The Advisor is exactly what it says. The Advisor, you put your information in there. It literally will send you messages every day. How you doing? Gives you the ability to put a little smiley face or a frowny face or whatever your condition is. But it's a nice little coach, but it also interacts with the apps that you've subscribed to, and that's where you'll find them. So that's how it works. It's a free thing. So just make sure that's what Doc was talking about.
The annual subscription gives you access to 12 individualized Healy microcurrent frequency or IMF programs for animals. Please click on Your Animals and confirm the message with OK. First, you have to create a profile for your animal. That way, you can easily assign the recommended IMF programs to this animal and set the reminders. Choose here whether it is a cat, a dog, or some other animal. In our case, we create our cat Kitty by selecting the corresponding icon. Next, we add the name, age, gender of our kitty. By clicking on the camera symbol, you can either take a snapshot with your smartphone or upload an image from your phone gallery. Confirm all entries with Next. As a second step, we select topics for Kitty for which we would like to receive IMF program suggestions. We choose Vitality and Psyche. Confirm with Next and select the appropriate subcategories in the following steps. Now you can activate the reminder function for Kitty. Your smartphone will then use push messages to remind you to run the respective daily Healy programs. Leave the profile settings with Next. You will now automatically be taken to the overview page where you can create more animals in the same way. Here you can review your selected topics and change them if necessary. If you select the respective topics, the recommended programs will be listed separately. If you click on all topics, you will see a full overview where you can directly run each program by clicking on the play icon. Select one of the programs and open it in the detailed view and add it to your program pool if necessary here. In the program pool, you can identify the animal IMF programs by the different images on the left side of the program name. By clicking the play button, you can start the corresponding IMF programs with your Healy app or delete them from the list using the edit icon. When you select Animal IMF programs and click on Confirm, you can browse for a desired topic and find individualized microcurrent frequency programs to harmonize the animal's bioenergetic field, which you can also run directly with your Healy app. We search for stress and find suitable programs which we can add to the program pool with a plus symbol in the next step and run them later. Alternatively, the respective IMF animal program can also be started directly by tapping on it in the detailed view. Using the drop-down menu, you can also search in other categories or even in all of them at once. By touching the question mark symbol in all menu pages of the Heal Advisor app, you can start their corresponding tutorials. Through the global reminder function in the settings, you can enable push messages on your smartphone as a reminder for your daily IMF programs from the IMF scheduler, as well as the animal IMF programs and revitalization tips. With your bioenergetic revitalization subscription, you have access to 12 individualized microcurrent frequency or IMF programs for your Healy. If you select Bioenergetic Revitalization IMF programs in the Start menu, you can search for a topic that is most important to you and find individualized microcurrent frequency programs to harmonize your bioenergetic field, which you can then use directly within the Healy app. In our case, we search for stress in the Bioenergetic Revitalization search and find some suitable IMF programs, which you can add to the program pool by clicking on the plus symbol and run at a later time. Alternatively, you can start the corresponding IMF program directly by tapping it in the detailed view here. You can also use the drop-down menu for searching in other categories or in all categories at once. Under Your Daily Revitalization, you will find easy-to-use tips for your daily well-being. These tips are available in different categories. If you tap on an image, its detailed description will appear. By ticking the box in the top right corner, you can select the exercises that you have already done today. Alternatively, you can also select the tips in the overview. When you have marked all the selected tips, confirm your selection by clicking on Save Achieved Goals. In the next overview, you can see the red average line in the graphic representation, which shows the number of 7 daily reached goals. The number of your achieved goals should ideally be above this line. If you tap on an individual day of this week in the chart, you will see all your daily tips listed again at the bottom of the screen. By using the edit function, you can return to the overview page for your tips and add those that you may additionally have accomplished. Another feature is the Bioenergetic Revitalization Assistant, which allows you to choose from a list of your current topics and receive a selection of IMF Healy programs to harmonize your bioenergetic field. We choose for soul and well-being and then confirm next. In the subcategory, we select establishing mental balance and also confirm by clicking next. As a result, you will be shown all your relevant IMF program recommendations. Here you can add the corresponding programs to your program pool by clicking on the plus symbol and then click on Done to view them right there. Your program pool with all the IMF Healy programs that have been recommended for you can be found here at the bottom of the screen. This is where you can start your programs with the Healy app or delete them from the list by clicking the edit icon. Using the slider, you can access your IMF program planner. Here you can select up to 3 topics that you have previously selected in the assistant and automatically create a schedule for the whole week. You can also specify certain periods when you are not available. Click on Edit and then on Change Application Times. By checking or unchecking the boxes, you can add your programs in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Alternatively, you can check the entire column here. Finish the process by clicking on Update IMF Schedule to save the changes and confirm here with Next. In the IMF Scheduler overview, you can scroll to the right to view more weeks. Tapping Today will take you back to the current week. Select the program item to start it directly in the detailed view or to add or remove it from the program pool. Below, you will find your active topics from the assistant on which your IMF program schedule is based. By clicking on Change Topic, you will be taken to an overview where you can select a maximum of 3 different topics that you have previously found in either Bioenergetic Revitalization, Digital Nutrition, or Heal Advisor Search. If you want to search for more topics, select More Topics. At the bottom, you will find an overview of all IMF programs for the current day.
We know that Healy's got you intrigued, so head on over to ChooseHealy.com to see tons of Healy testimonials, hear reviews on the Healy technology, and how to easily get your hands on this game-changing and disrupting opportunity to support you, your family, your community, your clients, and your patients. We look forward to you scheduling a time to experience the Healy Resonance device from wherever you are. So head on over to ChooseHealy.com to receive all the information you require and to schedule your Healy Resonance experience today. You'll be glad you did. Get ready for the new paradigm of affordable energy medicine. It's here today and waiting for you. ChooseHealy.com.